Well, here we are at the pet reception centre.
Yes.
For the border check to get back into the UK.
Yep.
With little Pipsqueak. They've got a little dog exercise area here. There's Pippin over there. Pips, come on, come on, come on.
That's a good girl. Do you're running?
She does like a little runabout free.
She loves her ashtray. She likes the ashtray turf.
Yeah, she does. So we're here, we're on the 10:20 p.m. train. It's 8:35 at the moment on the 10th of June. So yeah, this will be like a couple of weeks ago by the time you see this.
Yeah.
But
and it's been a day of terrible rain and storms coming through France. Same for England, isn't it?
It's been a massive storm over the sort of south of England and the north of France and the Channel. It's been like, at one point, a car came down the motorway on the outside of us, and it splashed through a puddle that put enough water on the windscreen to actually obscure my view completely for about 5 seconds. Now that's a long time.
I know.
When you're doing 40 or 50 miles an hour. It was a little bit scary, but we got through that all right. That was no worries. So and then we're here at the Eurotunnel.
That's pretty easy. But it was a night. I'm like, I don't like all that rain and fog, and it was so deep, the water at times. I was a bit. Anyway, I'm so glad we're here and it stopped raining.
So we're in the next little clip, we'll be in England. So here we are on the train. I think we're on the correct train. They let us through a bit earlier, but we did a little bit of shopping at the supermarket there, and now, our good friend Ed, hello Ed, gave us a bit of advice when we're getting on the train. Make sure that you've got enough room to get into the next carriage, because you don't want to be straddling over, because you'll have to like reverse it or there'll be a big problem. Anyway, so we're following this big trailer in, and I thought, well, I'll just wait to see how far that goes. And I looked at it, I thought, there's just enough room to get in there. So I thought, right, well, I'll go ahead, and the very nice young girl called me through, put me right up close to the thing in front, went to the back, had a look. Literally this much too long. If we'd have been an inch shorter, we'd have been all right. But there you are. So we had to reverse. So she had to walk back down the carriage and ask 5 vehicles at the back of me to all back up one space. So we've now had to reverse down the train. Here we are on the Eurostar. So that was interesting. There's a sort of note to self: make sure that someone calls you up when you're right there, and make sure that you can actually get in to the next carriage. Well, here we are back in jolly old England, and you can see the sky up there is completely overcast. It's windy, and we're on a little CL site. I don't know which way the wind's blowing. We're on a little changeable. We're on a little CL site just outside Brighton. It's been, well, we came back on the ferry on Monday. It's now Thursday, and it's been raining every day since since we started heading north in France. So we've been pretty wet. We have had the awning out, the canopy awning out here, because look, sunshine coming out. but we had to put it away this morning. I had to get up at 6 a.m. and come out and wind the awning back in, just so that it didn't get blown away, because it is pretty, it was sort of, the canopy was like flapping really badly and really trying to lift off, even though I've got the little straps there on with the storm springs and the and hooked really securely around. I was still worried, so we had to put it away. The site we're on is a lovely site in well, it's just outside of Lewes, actually, near Brighton, and it's a CL site. It has you'll see over this way that it has toilet emptying, wastewater. Well, wastewater you just put in the hedge, and toilet emptying over there. So got all the facilities that you need, and it's only £7 a night. But you'll see the surroundings. Let me turn you around this way. All over here, beautiful scenery all over the sort of South Downs Hills, I suppose you'd call it. Really nice surroundings. We've not managed to get out for much of a walk yet. Been seeing family and things, so that's all been good. I met an old business acquaintance yesterday, and there's a pub just down the way, about a couple of 100 yards away, so I'll be visiting that tonight to meet up with that old business acquaintance. Be very nice. And the pub's called the Jugs, so we might have 1 or 2 jugs of ale. Anyway,
I've got my coat on here, but it's so hot I thought it was going to rain. So we're down here having a little walk along the old railway nature reserve, just off the town centre in Lewes, just a few steps away. I've not been here before, but it says it's a place to think, and it's designed by from groups of people with learning difficulties. They've all designed various things around the garden, so it's looking nice, a place to think. So we're going to have a little wander, see what we think. I know Pippin will like it. And also across there, since we've last here, they've got lots of new flats lining the riverside, so very nice. And of course there's the cliffs Lewes are famous with over there.
So we're just on our way to Lewes town centre, and we're taking a sort of country walk. We're on the little pavement cycle path at the moment from Kingston on our way to Lewes town centre, aren't we?
We've it's been a week since we've been in England. This is the first really nice morning we've got.
So as Wendy says, we've been a week here, and it's been raining every day until today, when I think you can see now it's nice and sunny and quite warm. Actually, there's a nice summer breeze going on, isn't there?
Beautiful. The sky's blue, and we've forgotten Pippin's wet coat, so now she's getting overheated. Oh,
it's not usual to have a wet coat.
No, we're just because the weather's been so bad. We've been in spring mode, and we're not in summer mode in England, but we are enjoying it. It's a lovely place where we're staying, and walking I think for nearly an hour now, and I have to say how well kept the whole countryside and this park is. I haven't seen one piece of rubbish or any dog's poo at all, so well done.
We're in Lewes, and we're in a place called Priory Park, and there's an old ruin over that way. Sort of the old priory.
It's the old priory,
and the rest of it sort of over here.
Beautiful.
And there's some sort of presentation thing just there. Not quite sure what that is.
To mark a battle that took place in 1200, the Battle of Lewes, 1200.
Battle of Lewes.
Yes.
We've been here for a little over a week now, so it's never stopped raining. It's like every day there has been rain. We get times like this when we can sit outside and enjoy a little bit of sunshine. There's not sunshine, it's very cloudy, but it's extraordinarily bright, hence the sunglasses. And it is. There's a cool breeze, but it's so hot. It's like really, really close. The British weather typically weird. We went out for the day yesterday, up to my sister's house, just to connect again and collect the post that we've been getting over there, and all the other bits and pieces to sort out. So that was a really nice day out. I was going to hire a car because we're down here in Lewes. Well, it's a little place just outside Lewes town centre called Kingston, and I was going to hire a car, but the few things stopped me doing it. The cost, which wasn't too bad. I found cars online ranging from £5 a day, reviews were really awful on those, up to £120 a day for the more expensive, better quality cars. So cost was one thing. Getting to the car to pick it up, the best deals were at Gatwick. So I would have to go walk into Lewes, get the train to Brighton, and then the Brighton train to Gatwick, get the car, hire it for a couple of days, and then do the old switcheroo back round again. It was just a bit of a nightmare. So what we decided to do was just drive the van up to my sister's. We can park outside on the grass verge just about, so that was quite good. And it, cost us a couple of gallons of petrol, get there and back. But we're going to do some supermarket shopping on the way back. Here's the thing, right? When you're going along for the sat nav, we've got a Garmin 770 Camper Edition. You can sort of flick over to categories and points of interest and stuff like that, and choose the shopping category, and it'll tell you where shops are within the area where you actually are driving. So we chose a Lidl in Crawley. It was on the way back from Leatherhead. So Leatherhead, Crawley, Lewes on the way. So the sat nav took us down off the M23, round into a little place, sort of Pound Hill sort of area. Near Gatwick, round some little back roads, round a housing estate, and down a cul-de-sac. No shop. It was literally, it took us into a housing estate. So once we made our way out of the little cul-de-sac and got on our way again, found our way back to the motorway, back down, we knew there was an Asda down here. It was one we used to go to quite a lot when we lived in Brighton, and so we used to go there quite a bit, and we thought, well, it might be a bit tight, but it was by the time we got back it was 9:30, so things were a bit quieter. Well, it's still quite busy. It's a 24-hour supermarket, Asda, and Asda at Coldine it is. So we went there, drove in, actually quite a bit of space, so I was able to sort of park quite easily, quite close to the entrance. Wendy went in shopping. Of course, I'm not allowed. I spend too much money buying things that are not necessary at all. Anyway, so Wendy went in, and there's no one at the checkouts. So because it's a 24-hour shop and it's late, all the checkout staff go off and do other things like filling up shelves. So there's stock all over the aisles, and anyway, they're stocking up the shelves. So Wendy's filled up a trolley, gone down to the self-checkout, and it's like, oh, you have to scan every item yourself, obviously, and then she got to the end with it all piled up in bags and on the end. Multiple times of unexpected item in the bagging area. You know, Wendy does her best to do these things, but the systems always go bad. Anyway, I think Wendy said that it was like she had to get the service person to come over with their card to reset the system like 4 or 5 times. Anyway, then after all that, the blooming till said cash only. Anyway, the service person came over again and got all that sorted out. So Wendy was in a bit of a stress. It's been a long day yesterday. I was relaxed in the van, so I was unaware of all this. Wendy came back in a bit of a frazzle, so I helped, and I put all the shopping away in the fridge, the freezer. Got all that sorted out. Because we're getting prepared for a little family gathering here over the weekend. Getting the barbecue out. First time for quite a while actually. Doing a few barbecue bits and pieces, and having a bit of family gathering. It's lovely here because we got this big sort of 3-acre field. There it is. It's a CL site, and it is full because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including us, 5 motorhomes actually. So yeah, we're all motorhomes. So it's a really, really good place. Very convenient for Lewis. It's about an hour walk if you're trying to find your way. It's an hour, hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes into the centre of Lewis. But if you really knew your way and you took all the shortcuts and the right paths, then maybe 50 minutes, an hour max, just as a stroll into Lewis. It's quite nice, and Lewis is a lovely place. You would have, if you didn't sort of catch sight of some of the pictures of Lewis earlier in this video, pop back and have a look at those. There's some nice pictures of Lewis and the surrounds around the town. Very nice shops in there, great little coffee houses, and also within walking distance there is a Tesco and an Audi. So I think it's an Audi or a little, one of those, but they're right next to each other with car parking. And then further on there's a Majestic Wine and Home Base. You need sort of DIY sort of stuff. So there we are. This site is really nice. It is a CL site. It doesn't have there's no toilet block, shower, anything like that. But there is, as I've said before, there's the waste emptying and the fresh water fill up just across the other side there. And where we were, because we went out yesterday, when I came back, it was about 10 o'clock, 10:15 time we got back. So it was pitch black here. So and I managed to sort of park in a slightly different place because we were parked just slightly down, and we had to have the ramps on the rear wheels just to give it a bit of a level. But I parked slightly, maybe 10 or 20 yards up the hill, and it's all flattened out. And because of the way the van is and the suspension, we're pretty much dead level. So we didn't have to do the ramps in the night, which I wasn't going to do anyway. I was going to sleep on the slope, as it were, no matter what. But I drove further up, and it's all good. So that's the sort of place we're at. And this place is to be highly recommended because it's only £7 a night. I think we'll be coming back before we go off again across to Europe, which we're planning to do in the very early part of September, and drive up to Sweden again to see the family up there. What an international lifestyle we live, don't we? It is pretty good, actually. Very much enjoying the sort of travel, and I do notice that we really both get itchy feet when we're in one place for too long. I mean, those 2-month stays, I think what brought it home to us first, if you remember, when we first went over to Spain, we stayed on the Motor Caravanners Club or MCC casual camping rally at Bonterra Park, and we'd booked in there for 2 months and we did that because we weren't sure about what to expect, and we wanted to be with sort of like-minded people and sort of make sure that we didn't have any real worries. And we had a really great time there, but I know that 3.5 weeks into that 2-month stay, we were both saying we've been here too long. Now, that wasn't anything to do with the MCC or the Motor Caravanners Club, because they were brilliant and it was gorgeous there, and the campsite is really lovely, and I would recommend it to go back because of the position, proximity to town, proximity to the beach, and all the nice little cycle paths and everything. Really lovely, but 2 months in one place is too long for us. And we found that when I stayed at my brother John's more recently on the way back to England, as we were doing the sort of down through Spain, across, stayed at my brother's and then back up. We stayed with my brother for 2 months as well, and I think we'd definitely been in one place for too long, because I think we got a bit stale, and we stopped doing the daily videos for this YouTube channel while we were there. We took the whole of May off, which did enable us to become more refreshed and sort of a renewed enthusiasm for the channel. And I hope that you're enjoying what we're doing now with the weekly. But 2 months in one place is definitely too long. And I know, some people do like to spend. We met some people at Bonterra Park where they take 6 months and they just stay in one place, and they just live their daily lives in that one place. And I think that's probably okay, and we might well get to that position over time. This is our we started doing the travel in March 2016, so that's to 17 to 18 to 19. That's 3. We're in our 4th year of living in a motorhome, or in a motorhome caravan, small space, and travelling. So we're in our 4th year of doing it. Still absolutely love it, and we still really love the travel and the excitement of packing up and getting on our way and feeling. We really do feel like there's a massive sigh as we drive out of a gate of a campsite or a CL, it's like, oh, we're on the way again, and we're on the road. It really is a lovely thing to think, oh, where, what will we see next? So there we are. Bit more of an update on our trip around Spain and France. On the way back, we got caught on speed cameras, and a lot of people have said to us, make sure you watch out for your speed, and we do. Whenever the sat nav keeps a check on what the speed limit is, so it advises what the speed limit is, and I'm usually well under, or dead on, but on 2 occasions in 50 km per hour speed limit, that's 30 miles an hour, and they're not always signposted, so you can get into a 30 mile an hour zone, and you can be 500 yards into it, and the sat nav will suddenly say, oh, you're 30 miles an hour or 50 k's. Twice I've been caught doing once 59 kilometres an hour and once 58 kilometres an hour, so 8 or 9 kilometres an hour over the speed limit. And bear in mind that the really galling thing is that they allow you 5 kilometres an hour over as a buffer. So they say, well, you were doing 59, we would allow you to do 55, therefore you were 4 kilometres an hour over what we allow. 4 kilometres an hour, blooming hell, that's such a tiny amount. it's like less than walking pace extra. But the thing about it is that when you're caught speeding in those slow zones, they treat that as a really, really serious violation. It's like, if you were caught doing, 100 in a 90, not so bad. I think that might be a level 1. But when you're caught doing 59 in a 50, massive, like that's a level 4 violation. It's just like one of the worst violations. So because they're more built up and there's more danger to pedestrians, I suppose, which is fair enough. I don't purposely speed anyway. I keep my speed really low. I'm down motorways at 50 k's, at 50 miles an hour, which is 80 kilometres. When big trucks, caravans are going past me at 100 kilometres an hour. So I do keep my speed low. And I always really, really slow down through villages, and I just got it wrong a couple of times because maybe I wasn't aware of, the speed limits weren't they're not always posted, and you have to sort of be aware of your surroundings when you get into where houses or shops are. Slamming the brakes on that. Well, that's what I'll be doing next time. And these were both French. Speeding violation tickets, and because it was such a bad violation, 3 or 4 miles an hour over the speed limit, they were €90 each. So this morning I've had to pay €180 in speeding fines, and I'm still not sure whether that'll mean I've got 6 points on my licence. I don't know. It might be. So I don't know what they do about that. I might eventually receive a notification to say, you've got points on your licence. Well, there you go. Anyway, it is what it is, and I'll be much more careful in future, which I suppose is what the fine is designed to do. You know, make you more aware of your surroundings, which I will be. So I'm slightly annoyed with myself more than the French government for fining me. I'm annoyed with myself for not sticking to the speed limit. You know, when you're a bit. The other thing is the speeding. You can be in an 80 km/h zone, and it'll suddenly come down to 50 or 40, and you know the speed sign, if it's there, won't be. It'll be hidden behind a lamp post or something like that. Anyway, you're not always going to see it, especially if you're a blooming tourist like we are. I know, you know, you should be concentrating on the road and all the rest of it, but sometimes you look out of the window, don't you? You know, you say, oh look, there's a nice bit of scenery in the background, and you know you're 2 seconds away, and by then you're into a speed restricted area and a hidden speed camera. Because here's the thing: the speed cameras, I've never seen one. I've never seen a single speed trap camera anywhere in France or Spain. They're not like they are in the UK, where they've got to be bright yellow and very visible. Oh no, they hide them, which is, you know, it's a bit sneaky. I don't like it. But anyway, so you've got to be really careful. So if you're going over to France or Spain, it's a little tip for you: keep well within the speed limits at all times. And go slower. People don't. Here's the thing: in Spain and France, people don't mind if we're going too slow, because they know there might be a speed camera somewhere that they can't see. So that, you know, and everybody's going a bit slower. It's good, I suppose. But there you are. Here's a little view of the countryside that we're enjoying today. So a couple of videos ago, I think we told you about Matt, Lucy and Murphy, who we met at Puerto La Peace in Spain. And they were just passing through. They recognised us, so hi guys, that's good of you to subscribe and watch us. But we asked them what they did for a living, and Lucy said that she made dog tags, personalised dog tags, and we ordered some online from their Etsy shop, and they've arrived well, yesterday actually, so we thought we'd just open them here on camera and show you what we get. So nicely addressed little jiffy bag, and they come in a little pouch like that, which is a nice touch, with Outland written on it. So if you I think that yeah, it's not Norfolk, isn't it? Norfolk, Outland Norfolk, or Norwich. Can't quite read the word on there, but I can read Outland, and this is the first time we've seen them. So there's a card inside. Yeah, there you go. It's yeah, Outland Norfolk it is. There you go, Outland Norfolk. So have a look on Etsy for their little shop, and let's show you the tip them out of the bag. And here are the little, look at that, if you can be able to see that there. Yeah, that's really nice. A little sort of copper with Pippin's name on it and a phone number on the back. And then there's this other key ring, with the Happy Travellers on it. Oh, you'll not see that. Look at that, that's really nice. Did you order that?
No, it's a surprise gift. I didn't know.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, I thought we just ordered this.
Yes.
With the phone number on the back. That's for Pippin's little tag. And how sweet of you both, or all three of you,
Yes.
to do that for us. It's a little keychain thing with a phone number on. That's really sweet of you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. And wow, I'm speechless. So I mean, what I can say is that they're blooming good quality and really nice. They feel much better than the ones you have engraved at the shop, and I think that'll just last Pippin a very long time. Look at that. Look at that. That's it. There. Wonderful. Thanks so much, guys, for sending that extra little gift through. Yeah, so if you want little dog tags handmade by Lucy and made with a lot of love and care, I think, so pop over to the Outland Norfolk Etsy shop and get your dog tags there. So we're parked over there, and you've just seen the countryside up that way, but right over here, right across the other side of the site, is the well, it's the service point. So down here we've got fresh water, so that's drinking water only there, and then next to it we've got the grey waste, and then the chemical toilet emptying point. Right next to it is the bins for your rubbish. So it's a really nice place to be. So turning right out of the campsite gate and walking 100 yards down the road or so, you come to a turning, and just up here is a pub called the Jugs, and here it is. It's a very oldie worldy pub, but plenty of space actually. It's quite small inside, but then we've got all this other area all around here, and a little covered area there. Quite a big car park at the back there, and that's the entrance there.
As we've just walked up past the pub, we're sort of walking up the old village street, because we've gone past the post house, the granary, the anvil, the old forge, a farm that was selling goat burgers. I think they were £6 for 4, and free range eggs. They were, I think it was £1.80 for 6 mixed sizes. And this is, you can tell that the houses here too are very old, and just near the end is the church, and then further on you can walk on over the ridge, which is that steep hill, and you're on the main London to Brighton road. And I think the pub was called the Jugs because they used to carry fish and that over here from Brighton. I'm sure I read that somewhere. So it's absolutely beautiful and so peaceful. And the poppies here, of course, remind me of all the poppies we saw in France. So really enjoying this place. Lovely people, lovely flowers. So we're here on the village green, and behind us is quite a new building. It's the community pavilion, and all around the green are new houses. But everywhere we've been is spotlessly clean. There's no mess or rubbish anywhere, and the bins, plenty of rubbish bins, and they're all emptied regularly. Oh, and I forgot to say that in the other lane there was also a parish hall to do with the church that we walked through. And just by the pub there is the bus stop where you can get buses to Lewes or Newhaven, so it's very convenient. They're only about 7 or 8 a day, but you know, that's okay.